Hey guys, welcome back to another reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies of Libra at this time. As you guys know, though, these readings are timeless and signless, so you don't have to actually be watching at the time that I'm posting this video, and you don't have to have any significant Libran placements in your natal chart for these messages to be for you. Truth be told, they're really just collective energy readings for those of you who are within the same collective that I share. And I just noticed that people gravitate more towards when the words of an astrology sign are there. So I invite you to go ahead and look at all of the videos. And if it resonates for you, as always, then take it and reflect upon it, right? And if it doesn't, I would invite you to take a step back, then come back at a later time and see whether the energies have materialized more and that they make more sense to you. But anyway, if you'd like to work more personally with me, you know exactly where to find me right there at Etsy. So just follow the link on this page wherever you're watching. And also let me formally welcome you again to, yay, January 2025. So we are in a new year, but TBH, guys, this is such a bridge energy time. I don't know if you're feeling it. And as I'm talking to you already, I'm feeling this lump come up in my throat. But let's talk about it. Because remember, we're all about discernment on this channel, and we're all about understanding that just because something looks similar to something else doesn't mean that's exactly it. So we have to bring ourselves, our higher selves, our own faculties to this now moment and do the investigation work for ourselves. So, for example, this is all part of the lesson automatically. You're already feeling this, right, from the guides. For example, I'm already feeling a bulge or a lump pulling up in my throat. And the first thing we're going to say is always going to be what reflects our level of perception. For some people, they'll be like, oh, hey, oh no, something's attacking you and I won't let you talk, right? And sometimes that is the case in the sense, although we know from a higher perspective, that's not the case. But anyway, a second thing someone may say is, oh, it's just your ascension symptom coming up, right? And that could be the case for some people. Some people will say, oh, it could be just that year. It's the tension between the friction that is, or level of resistance, whatever word you'd like to use discursively, that pops up when the message, the frequency of the message that you're delivering interacts and alchemizes alchemizes with the frequency of your own energy field around the throat chakra, right? So there are many ways for you to describe this moment. But here's what I'm going to remind you. The power of interpretation lies within you. You always have to pull it through your body, call upon your higher self, because your higher self is what literally has a higher perspective. It sees more of the picture, it sees the larger situation, it sees the larger discourse, or rather the larger thing that's going on, and can look at the discourse that you're using and to happily place it into a framework of language that you, the observer, can better recognize and realize at your level of consciousness or interpretation or whatever that is. And so doing that, I'm exemplifying that for you right now. Here's what I get for the lump that is in my throat. It feels very much as I feel into it that it's representing new energy coming in and up from the ethers, so to speak, and out into the world. So this is not a moment of having a throat chakra attacked. I know I wanted to say attacked, but you hear me fighting the words that want to come through. Attached. They're like, see, that's an example. Okay, there it is. That's an example they're saying of what can be seen as an attack, if you'd will, if you'd will, see if you will it. But anyway, see, we're looking trying to explain to us at this level of perception and take into consideration what it looks like at a higher level of perception. A higher level of perception, you're only attacking yourself at all times. From a lower level of perception, you will see attack as outside of you, informed by any doctrine or dogma or ideology or culture or whatever it is that informs your lens. So that's what that would look like, the superimposition of other frequencies onto your your method of communication, right? But in this case, what's actually happening is that, and this is the power of the interpreter, right? It's what's actually happening is that it's we're seeing new energies coming in for us. Now, I say new energies, not to say that, oh my God, this is new, we've never seen this before. No, it's your own energies, as it always can only ever be, because you are the reality of you, the viewer, and me, the speaker, is that we are all that is. We're everything. That means you're the good, the bad, the up, the down, the in, out, tall, short, you name it. The Nancy Bobs, I don't know what else, right? You name it. You are all that is. And at any one given point, when you're observing something, you must also reflect upon the point at which you're making that observation. So that's the difference in communicating messages between, oh, we're looking at higher level energy dynamics versus how those energetic dynamics manifest for you in the details, the he said, she said, the document, the address you live at, all of that. Those are details, but they're only manifestations of larger energetic dynamics that are at play. And so one of our major lessons that we should already be having under our belt, and if not, we're going to continue to cultivate, is the reality of who you are. You are all that is. And that's why when you judge others, you merely judge yourself, but your blind spot is that you don't recognize that that is just yourself that you're looking at and you're perceiving of. And that's why the more that you lean into self-love and self-acceptance, meaning that whatever comes up for you, whatever you don't like about yourself, whatever you see in other people that you don't like, they're all reflections of an energetic pattern that is within you, that is active enough to manifest and appear in the physical world around you. Anything that appears in the physical world around you, including this video, including your friendly local Janelli bear, that's me, that is just a reflection of an aspect of you. And so that's why the outside world that we see outside of us, whether it's something, an ailment in the body, you break a part of your body, a part of your body gets is now ill, that has to be cut out or amputated, you have rashes, you this mental discord, all that stuff, or other people, your car is broken, you're this, that, all of that is just holding messages. And the messages for you is like, hey, look at me. And your homework is to look at that, to observe it. All you can do is observe it. You can't control it. It already is. You observe it and you say, wow, how does this make me feel? Does it make me feel expansive and joyful? Is that joyful? Is that expansion and joy something that can be shared? Does it actually move my heart in a wonderful way? And most importantly, is this something I would like to have continue to be my state of being? If the answer is yes, then by all means, then keep taking action steps towards bringing more of that in. Because what you do in the now moment, in a now moment, in a now moment, in a now moment, which is only non-physical, so you might as well close your eyes and just envision it and take action steps when you open your eyes, take action steps in your physical world that align with that vision, that is literally seeing the non-physical now moment and setting the aligning with that vision and taking the action steps in this physical plane to align with that, right? That's why you can't say, "Oh, I'm happily married. I'm happily married. I'm doing all these physical steps. I'm going dating. I'm putting on this makeup. I'm doing this, my nails." But then in the non-physical, when we look gently into your energy field, it's saying, I hate men. They're the scum of the earth. My father was a loser. Every man I've dated was horrible, and I hate my own masculine. That's what is actually you're carrying that, and so it's the steps that you take are out of alignment, and then people wonder why they end up being alone or why they end up having struggles with people of the opposite sex, for example, in this example, or why they're unhappy all the time, or they end up manifesting somebody and that person turns out to be a horrible person, right? Because at the end of the day, it's always going to be the same thing. Your mindset is in need of healing. It is not the body. The body doesn't do anything but follow the mind. And when I say the mind, I don't mean, oh, let's look into DSM and let's understand what the mind says there, what the mind is, or let's ask Carl Jung, or let's look in this holy text, or like all of that. You can do all that, whatever. But I don't want you to get stuck in those definitions of this mindset, because to do that would be to take a concept that is outside of the realm of what mankind is fully able to appreciate at this level based on where our current collective consciousness and ideology is. Instead, we understand that we have this aspect, this part of us, this consciousness, this higher consciousness of us that we should be seeking to understand and not acting as though we understand already. And when we're in a place of seeking to understand, that calls us to have ideological flexibility. Ideological flexibility basically means the ability to have an idea, entertain an idea, indulge in an idea, observe an idea, experience an idea, experiment with an idea, but without trapping yourself and other people into that idea. Now, there's a reason why the word cult and culture is so similar, right? Because also remember that when we're relying on sociocultural things, subcultural things, subculture, all of that is still relating to the idea of a group, right? Group think, group consciousness. If you always move at the speed and at the level and the awareness and the intelligence or demonstration of intelligence or lack thereof of any particular group, you're always not going to be in alignment with yourself unless you go into yourself first, establish a state of understanding and awareness of who you are, what you like, where blah, blah, blah. And then from that platform, that foundation, that is what informs your foundation. You step out into group, whether it's community, whether it's family, whether it's a friendship, one-on-one, multiple friendships, whether it's a religion, whether it's an institution, whether it's just your classroom, whatever this is, that's group think. You cannot go out into group think without self think. Otherwise, you're unplugging from your own will space and your own wisdom, and you're plugging into something that is outside of you. And the danger of that, because we understand that everything that we witness outside of us is just a reflection of what's inside of us. The danger of that is if you have not centered within yourself to understand, oh, I am all that is. That means I'm all the light I experience, and even the light that I don't experience, even the light I cannot even conceive is out there. And I'm also all the shadows that I hold, all the shadows that I'm aware I'm holding, all the shadows I'm not aware of holding, all the shadows I don't even know exist, right? You're everything. And so the danger of just without sitting with yourself and practicing self acceptance for whatever comes up, loving yourself in spite of whatever you make it mean, you're just going to plug into things outside of you that will lead you astray. And because you haven't um, uh, cultivated the recognition that, oh, outside of me is me, you're going to get into judgment and blame and making enemies of other people and all of this because that's what you were taught outside of you. Right? So if you are somebody who has a connection to a higher consciousness, that is always just going to be you, by the way, a higher state of consciousness that is you, your higher self, you are in a much better position to navigate this earthly plane in a way that is befitting to your health, well-being, and spiritual evolution in as let's just say as in a productive way as possible, understanding that productivity is not to be determined at this level of the field, at this mental plane, because we don't even understand what it means to be productive. Some cultures will say, oh, productivity means spending time with your friends and family and making the most of love and what it means, and that includes leisure, right? And so we can allow for insight to come in and to be moved by our spirits. Other cultures will say, oh, productivity is how much you can produce. What's your efficiency? What's your, blah, blah, blah. So you see how mankind is still kind of trying to create balance and come to understanding. But because of our limitation in, the forgetting part of which is on purpose, from the soul's perspective, right? To create challenges for us to overcome and learn and blah, blah, blah. But the other part of it is just toxic plugging into everything because you see outside of you as the authority. And just the example we just talked about the differences between productivity and even will some people say, oh, well, Western cultures are all about doing, 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 and Eastern cultures are all about being, being, being. But even that is a dialectic that we superimpose. A lot of people struggle with getting out of the this or that, the left or right, the up, the down, the in, the out, the chaste, the unchaste, the moral, the unmoral, ethical. That's just a binary thinking that is very, very low in resonance. Think about 1 point perspective, boink, and then two, boink. Now you're just looking left, right, in front of you, or that's it. But what about the third perspective? What about the fourth and the fifth, the sixth, dimensions, right? So understand that there's more, there's a larger picture that is going on. So in this time, and what a wonderful energy to bring this message through with these Libran energies of balance and scale and whatnot. And by the way, here we have all this force. I didn't even shuffle the deck yet, but we have a lot of force here. There's a lot of energy here. And this is the energy wave, right, that we're riding right now. A lot of you have been keeping track of the Schumann resonance and you've been seeing it do its thing. We see the sun go off, right? So but what does that mean? If you're observing that outside of you, it's just a reflection of what's going off inside of you. By the way, see that sun right there? And as I was looking at these cards earlier, as I was pressing on, again, I haven't shuffled, but you guys know how we roll. We don't need cards. We just reading the energy out here. And a lot of you listening, you already read energy as well. You receive it in your own way, whether you're still unclear about how that happens. So we're reading the back of these cards. We see these higher level frequencies coming in at the energetic level. We see the sun really coming out. We've been being asked to embrace the light ourselves, truth, love, reality for quite some time. For quite some time. Actually, we are always receiving light unless we choose to block it, right? So this when we say sayings like, oh, the only thing that man really fears is its own power, is his own power. Yes, of course, we've been indoctrinated to fear our own power. And also, it's totally understandable that we would fear our own power from this level of perception, this third dimensional kind of low vibe space, physical space, because really, whenever high frequency energy, that is you, your own higher self, the rest of you, the rest of all of you, when that energy starts to really hit your energy field and come in more, whether it's through downloads, in initiations, through the effects of the moon's gravitational pull on you, or just whatever you want to say, solar flares, solar winds, whatever you want to call it, your Uncle Bob coming home for the holidays, whatever you want to, whatever form you would like to see that as, whenever those frequencies come and they hit your field, it's going to drudge up the lower frequencies within you. And these energies, it's cool. It's just going to release, except you want to hold on to it and you create resistance. And then with your programming, if you're trained, which we're all trained to see things a certain way until we take control and we choose what we would prefer to have be our own set of ideals, right? Um, oh, yeah, so anyway, sorry, let me close that. Oh God. Okay. Whatever is it comes in, until you choose your own set of ideals, you're going to see energy, see the light that is around you through the lens of your own stuff. You can't see past your own projections. So someone may literally be trying to gift you with something, but because you hold programming and trauma that's unprocessed and even unrecognized and unallowed to even be seen by the self, you're just going to see your own enmity upon that other person. You're going to see them as wanting something. Oh, they're enemies. Oh, this is going to end bad. Oh, who is this person? What are they trying to do to me? Right? So you understand we only see enemies because that is the programming that we carry. And that's why it's so important to entertain the idea and or to get into the practice of allowing yourself to see yourself in all of your glory. All of your glory means the light and the shadow. You can't have one because you're all. To have only one would mean literally to cut out your that's like saying, I hate my left arm, but I love my right arm. My left arm's the devil, my right arm's the angels, and blah blah blah. And then you live your life trying to cut out your left hand, but it's like, wait a minute. Not only is an expanded state of awareness realizing, oh my God, I'm more than just two arms. I'm a whole body. I just can't see the rest of my body, but I hear I've got legs, I've got torsos, I've got organs, I've got cells, I've got everything. I've got so much. I have more than I even realize, but I'm only able to see these two things. And it's not like I'm viewing it like this as being one. I'm viewing it like this as being two and forgetting that it's all you. So if you keep doing that, and I'm the chosen one, and you're the this, you're all you're doing is beating up on yourself. That's it. And if you can tell from a higher perspective, people who see your whole body, they're like, what they doing, yo? That's insanity. Why are you beating up on yourself? But you said it, he said it. And this is why it looks strange, right? So we understand where we are. We are at limited perspectives where we observe an idea of there being duality and two, but there is no duality. There's no two. There's more than. And because you're a whole body, you're much more than you realize. And to even move these two hands, it's not like one hand started doing the wave and the other one did it. No, like your hand, in fact, you can move a whole hand independently of another one. And how this one tries to express itself. Hey, 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 come over here. Hey, 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 I'm talking to you. Or hey, how sweet, rubbing someone's cheek or just putting your hand around someone or saying you're the best, patting them. How you choose to move that, or even just to dance, right, is up to you. Or to pick up a weapon. You doing that. And even to do that has something that causes that, not because, oh, I saw that weapon, let me go ahead and pick it up, boom. No, there are dynamics that are at play in the musculature, the electrical impulses that come through your peripheral nervous system, your all of this. And then there's the mind that doesn't think right, the mind that does know better. All of this is moving this. So I hope you could see how even more absurd it is to lay blame to an independent thing from you that is at a higher perspective all you. It's just being animated in different ways, right? Because your left hand can move differently from your right hand, but they're both connected to your body because you are not just a hand. You're a whole body. And on top of that, if you're not careful, remember your hand is here. You start to ask, well, I see that I'm a hand, and I'm willing to entertain that I'm more than just a hand, no matter how many hands I see out there. Hey, that hand looks like me, but it doesn't mean it is me, right? How can I best use my hand to bring gentleness to the other hand, to bring joy, or even like, wow, if I kind of connected with that other hand, what can we build together? Because I heard hands build things, right? So now we're starting to consider what can I do with my hand? And when you're in alignment with the idea that I'm more than just a hand, that there's likely more to me that, whoa, there's more to me. There's more. There's so much more to me, right? I'm going to trust that I can be moved by something that is higher in perspective than me, something that a consciousness that can see higher than me. I bring my will at this level to be of service, whether I want to build something together with people, whether I want to caress something, whether I want to play tiddlywinks or whatever my hands are. Isn't tiddlywinks a game? But not with your, I don't know. It's like, anyway, whatever. Right? What we doing out here? You want to observe, you want to explore, but far be it from those who forget those little ideas of having a free will decision to bring goodness and to build and to enjoy and to cooperate with others. Instead, they may see programming and willpower and ideology and ideas of coolness and detachment and all of this that is so cool and in other people, and now I want to be that way, and now that other person's picking this up, and so I want to pick that up. This is just following, right? So long story short, we started out this video with the idea of understanding that you must go within, because things may have similar form, people, places, things, situations, ideas, they may manifest in your physical world to look the same. but they are not the same. It is up to you not to just be sold. Oh, these two people are horrible, or this, or that, or that, or these two people are great, blah, blah, blah. No, you take it back to yourself and you look for yourself because things are actually different. But from a higher state of perspective, it is all you. So, how you choose to approach anything in your life is to somebody who's moving with a higher state of consciousness just means expansive view. It's not I'm better than you or I'm worse than you. It's just, hey, I'm seeing more. I'm in the helicopter looking down on the forest. You're in the trees right now. Let's work together. But if you forget and you're just moving in a way that is about judging others, to someone with a higher state of consciousness, they see you as judging yourself because that's all it is. And it's also saying that not only are you just judging other people and blaming other people and holding people accountable and seeing everybody as narcissistic and this, think of all the adjectives you've used, you know, towards other people in 2024, even in the last 48 hours, that you and your friends have chuckled at. Oh, they're this, oh, they're that. All we see from a higher perspective when we slip into these higher states is we see you judging a part of yourself that you have yet to recognize. And that's why it's important to engage that which you don't want to see. In other words, your shadow. The more you allow yourself to see what is actually you, good and bad, up and down, in and out, right? Thief and generous person, saint and sinner, devil and angel, all inside you. If you're open to seeing those parts of you, when those energies come towards you in the world, you are better able to accept the godliness within them, to accept the light that is within them, because we're all light. We're all light. It's just some people through their all of us to different degrees for sure, um through their programming, they have fallen further away from being able to see that light, being able to appreciate that light, right? But we're all one. And so in a sense, you're brothers and sisters walking each other home. And the best way to change the world, quote unquote, or introduce better change, or whatever words you want to use discursively, is to focus on yourself. And that means seeing within yourself that which you have been hiding from, running from, allowing yourself to see your positives and negatives. So this is Libra energy coming in. They're like, hey, we're here to see it all. And of course we are, right? It's like the critical, not in a negative way, but the detail-oriented energies of Virgo, the skill set coming into the intention of Libra to bring balance, sliding right into the shadowy realms of Scorpio. This Libran energy that is coming through in this field here, the lessons Libra is bringing to us is, hey, get ready. As a lot of you are praying to God, you want to know God more, you want to open up to your higher selves, if that's the word you're using. Some of you want to walk in the way of Buddha, you want to, whatever it is that you're calling for. If you're seeing it as something higher than yourself, you're merely just talking to yourself. And when yourself starts to come in, you have to be open to observing what it appears as. Otherwise, you're just going to be like, oh no, it's the devil, or oh no, it's a tax man, or oh no, it's the whatever is your boogeyman, because you don't want to see that, yes, that you're even asking for your own light or the light as it's already coming in. Then yeah, now I want to ask for it because whatever you do has already come to pass. So it's already on its way in. Remember, when those energies hit your field, they're going to kick up lower frequency energies. If you choose and you will remain open to seeing what is without judgment, you will not see a boogeyman coming up. You will just see, oh, that's my own stuff. And I'm going to allow it to come up, and I'm going to observe what I'm making it mean. Just because I think I'm seeing the devil or I'm seeing demons, for example, I'm just using this example because a lot of us, maybe all of us, have old religious programming from multiple lifetimes in our in our field. Some of us from this lifetime, right? And I'm not talking about the beautiful religious energies that, sometimes the programming, the sociocultural handprint upon these beautiful energies that gave rise to a lot of our religions on this planet have just snuffed out so much of the beauty. If you are practicing anything, whether it's a philosophy, a way of life, a religion, whatever you want to say, a set of rules, principles, ethics, if those if those ideologies lead to division, that is not the way of the heart. So if you're like, oh, but we see a reason for division here, then you must go higher into the field. You must appeal to something higher than you, your higher self. You can call it whatever you want to give you the perspective that you need to see it's not this and it's not that. It's this, that, and the other. There's not only A and B, there's C, D, E, F, G, H. There are many ways to see this situation. It is not the situation that changes. It is always your own perception that changes. Your perception changes when you clear out the debris in your energetic anatomy. Hello, energy healers here. This is what we do. We help clear the debris. We help clear the stuff. We help counsel with the programming. So anyway, I do healing and such. If you've had sessions with me, you understand. But really, I call what I do intuitive counseling because in addition to the energetic movement and stuff, along with our collective spirit teams, we introduce higher frames of thought and reasoning and all of that to assist in the understanding. In other words, we bring illumination into the framework that you're working with, right? And so that look, literally, oh my God, look, I just looked at the cards. See, we bring the illumination from above into you, your framework. So what? Then you could, at this level, take different steps, make more informed choices. Your choices aren't based on these limited, low-level vibration, lack of empathy, lack of compassion, money hungry, celebrity focus. All that is just, ugh, it's toxic. And so if you're watching this channel, chances are, first of all, hi, chances are you're like me. I'm seeking to elevate myself from these levels of influences. And that simple prayer, I guess, has brought the opportunity to channel this information or these pieces of information in, not only for you guys, but for me too. We're all learning and elevating in our own way and to each our own levels, whatever that looks like, right? And it's not better or worse. It's just what's better or worse for us. Going back to the beginning message, the individual, right? It's all about you. You have to observe it as for you. So that's where we are right now as we start this year. And it's a very important thing because it's active discernment, right? So we've been releasing a lot of stuff. Some of you, you've released so much that you've literally had that release manifest for you in loss of jobs, living places, or it doesn't even have to be lost because now you're probably like, oh, I'm so glad that left, right? So loss is not the right word. The right word is detachment from, right? Relationships, intensity around certain ideas. Some of you, a lot of you actually have come more into congruence with what works for you. A lot of you are waking up to higher paradigms of thought I'm getting. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing sacred geometric patterns coming into your field. Some of you may even feel it on the left side, right? Because I'm perceiving it on the left side right here. Higher, and look, right, corresponding to this card. This is my deck, the Lemurian cards. This is my, look, radical expansion. See, this is my deck that I use when we have energy codes coming in. What is this? Make itself known. Boom, healing. Thank you. Right? So these cards are just reflecting the energies. All right. So as we are practicing this discernment, know that you're doing a great job because it's coming on the heels of you asking for more of yourself, whether whatever you called it, whether you called it God or you called it the angels, or I want to work with this ascended master, or I want to work with this, Buddha, or just whatever it is. It's just a beautiful name for you, more of you. And when you let more of you in, you're letting in higher frequencies of energy. And these higher frequencies of energy, as they enter into your energetic anatomy, into your energy field, into the multiple levels of your multidimensional body, whatever is blocking it is going to ring. You're going to light up like a Christmas tree, some of you. So if you're feeling conflicted, if you're feeling out of balance, if you're feeling out of alignment, some of you, if you're getting sick, if you're having flu-like symptoms or ascension symptoms or whatever, some of you are losing things. So all sorts of stuff, like literally, where's my watch? Where did I put my pen? It was here 1 minute, right? A pattern I've noticed that keeps happening as this energy's entered my field is I keep things like if I get 10, two of it will fall out, for example. 10, 100%, 20 of it will fall out, for example. If I, like the other day, I made a nice hot cup of coffee. God bless. Yay. Thank you for coffee, God. Anyway, coffee to go sit outside because I've been deciding to watch the sunrise every morning, letting in more of the light much, right? Sun carries codes. But anyway, right? So I've been greeting the day in that way. So I go out on my deck and so I was going out and then boom, just as I was opening my little folding chair, like 20% of my coffee cup like rolls out. And I was like, "Ugh." And I realized, oh yeah, stop. Before you react, I noticed the coffee. Am I happy about it now? No. I was looking for a full wake up. I was looking for a full touch of the sweet cream oat milk, and I was looking for that fix. Just kidding. No. I was looking for something, right? I was expecting joy. But anyway, it was still joyful because I was no longer in resistance to what occurred. I'm not out here saying, "Oh, you stupid." I didn't say that. I swear. I started to, but I was like, "Oh yeah, that was just an effect of some cause that I don't even know. Why am I out here crying about it? Just clean it up, clean it up and get your butt outside." Because if you've ever been outside to watch the sky change from beautiful ribbons of beautiful pinks and purples and oranges and stuff, you only have about 5 minutes. So I was like, why am I wasting my time? My focus is to get outside. I'm in alignment with what my higher self says. We want to go outside. We want to enjoy the sun. We want to be in nature. We want to wake up with the bird song. We want the coffee. I want the coffee. Some spilled. Get over it. Don't waste time wondering why it spilled and who spilled it. And I have to clean it up. And now I'm going to smell like this. And now my chair is going to smell like that. I just did my thing, cleaned up, went outside, enjoyed. And I noticed it kept happening. I was doing something else in the kitchen. I forgot what it was. And then I went to move it somewhere. The whole thing fell. So this happened like, not the whole thing, like 20% of it. This happened like 3 to 4 times over the last 3 days. I'm seeing a pattern I recognize. And I realize that every time I see that moment, that's the stimulus. Every time I see a stimulus like that, I choose actively to affirm a belief I'm setting my intention to, that I'm on my highest timeline. If on my highest timeline, which I affirm that I am, it just so happens that I lose something, something falls out, something doesn't look the way I want it to be, then hey, maybe that portion wasn't for me. Maybe that portion was for someone else. I don't know. It's not my business. But I'll tell you what else I'm not going to do. I'm not going to use that physical moment to now get upset about it. And oh, coffee cost money. I put a lot into this. I took time out for my day. What the hell is this? Oh, there must be a demon in my home. Why can't I walk straight? What is this? That's just a waste of time. And then if I go and I tell other people, would you believe this happened? My day is off now. Da, da, da. Now I'm spreading that. And if I have people around me who are just going to feed into that, no, here's what you need to do. You need to blah, 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 get a new blah, 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 Stanley Cup, blah, 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 whatever people come to me about. At the end of the day, I took a moment and I realized it's just an effect of something that's none of my damn business. What could I have done better? Oh, next time I will stabilize my cup. or I will set my chair out first. The next day, I went and I did that. And I realized that it was also, it kind of didn't matter because what if I did that and I put my cup down and then I opened my chair? I could have turned back to my cup and seen a bug went in my cup, right? So you see why waste my time over something that's spilled? It wasn't for me to be with in this moment where I'm going. And that happening has no bearing on me being on the timeline that I set. I put it out to the universe. I'm willing to be in my highest optimal reality. That's it. I don't know what that looks like. And if I thought it would be days ahead with no spilled coffees, then who am I fooling? Right? I just affirm that, oh, it's spilled. Hey, is there something I can learn about securing my cup better? Blah, 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 clean up, whatever, do it. 10 seconds, I'm done. Move on. Because clearly that needed to be along my journey for me to know while I'm on this path to my highest, but I will take myself out of my highest reality if I choose to see that spilling coffee cup and the spilling and loss or whatever of the other 3 to 4 things. I can't even remember what they were now, but they were clearly in the similar vein. If I choose to see that as a blight, as a setback, as a curse, as someone throwing evil eye, as me being stupid, why can't I just secure a cup? As, oh, everything bad always happens to me. Waste timing, times of waste. As they say, waste man. Why are we wasting? Right? And so the point that we're trying to make is you are the one who chooses. So you set your affirmation. I affirm that I'm on my highest reality and my highest timeline. And then you open up to allow for your own energies. It's your own energies, no matter what you think you're looking at. If you have a religious program, you're going to see a demon. It's just your own shadow coming up to meet the light that you're pasting a form upon, an idea on, and scaring yourself back into submission and the shadows. Don't do it anymore. Okay. And so the message that we're being taught here at this time is to understand the value of discernment. The value of discernment reminds you that you are. And once you're aware of who you are the light. You are everything. You're the light, the sharp, the dark, the shadow, the good, the bad, the everything. Then you realize what can come to you that you haven't already accepted as part of all that is. Now, that being said, yeah, if you're someone who's honest, you've also got lies within you because you're all that is. You're two sides of the coin. You are the coin. You're the bank. You're everything. But at this level of reality, which is this earthly dimensional plane, you also understand your power and your role. Your role is to choose. You can't control anything. The only thing you can control is your response. So let me ask you, what would you make that falling coffee mean? And if your quick answer was, well, it depends on how I'm feeling, I would send you back to work on what's going on inside of you. And why? Why on earth would you choose to react just based on your feelings? That's a call to process what's going on inside. You allow your feelings to come up, you acknowledge them, you tell the story, and then you get about doing what your job is, which is to make a choice in how you respond. You're either responding or you're reacting all throughout your day. Response means that you've taken time with mindfulness to reflect upon what you're observing. Reaction means you had a stimulus, you reacted. That's programming. Okay, so we have to start getting into the nitty gritty. See these details here? Let me pull it up. Is this actually higher? It's actually high above my head. That's why you see my hair and stuff. But so I'm just gonna pull this all the way up. Look, see, this is details. You're being asked right now to pay attention to details. This is discernment. This isn't judgment. Judgment and discernment are two different things. We don't judge out here. When you judge others, you're judging yourself. And spirit is like, if you're in insane mode, of course you're going to judge. But if you're in your right mind, which is the opposite of insanity, when you're in your right mind, as above, so below, you understand that there is no need for judgment. because you're all that is. What is the light side going to call you? Oh, you're the dark side. The dark side's going to call you, oh, you're the light side. Or it doesn't make sense. Right? And so when we elevate our perspective, our consciousness up to these higher levels of relating to what's going on this planet, that's when we start to realize, oh, I'm awakened. I'm moving with more awareness. I'm moving with more understanding. I'm moving with a higher perspective because I see that paradox is okay. This and that can be true. How can this and that be true? The only way that this and that can be true is if there's a wider perspective that you're not seeing. And you have to leave room for that. It's called the inconceivable. The inconceivable is that class of things and class of reality and class of goings on that you don't know. You don't know. You're not even aware of it. You can't even conceive of it. And so when you start to see you judging yourself and other people with that whole class of reality out there, the inconceivable, that just goes to show you, what am I doing? Instead, we ground within who we are, we observe who we are, we remember who we are all that is. No matter what we see outside of us, it is a reflection of what we carry, and it doesn't matter what we see because we are everything. But from this place of, I guess, third dimensional relating, the earthly plane, physicality, the power is to choose. Choose what? Choose what you prefer to be your state of being while you're here. Because the why you're here on this earthly plane at this time may well be a response and an answer and a reflection of agency that is from another level of the field. Not you. You at this level didn't choose to go through that divorce, for example. But the minute you step into this higher state of perception, the minute you transition into spirit, whatever it is, whether you have a breakthrough in your therapist's office or through your journaling, or you see something on TV, you have an aha moment, that change in perception that brings your mindset a little bit more expanded, you'll be like, oh, I see the value in that. So therefore, the more that we accept reality as it is in front of us, not to burden us or imprison us, but just, oh, that's what my bank account looks like. Oh, that's what the divorce papers look like. Oh, that's what this looks like. And then set a preference for what we would prefer to be the case, and then put steps into action to align with what we prefer. Don't waste time on the how you got here and the why this and that. It may not make sense, but a couple years down the line, or whenever you guys awaken to the level of whatever it is for you, you'll start to realize, oh, I'm just a completely different person. I timeline shifted. I'm not the same version of me as back then. It's me choosing to bring in this whole old identity that isn't even me. But from certain levels of perception, that's going to feel like it's impossible. It's going to seem like woo-woo. It's going to seem like it's unrealistic. Oh, I want to wait for all the science journals to say it, and then for them to make it declassified, and for it to come on the news, and now it's in my household. Hey, go ahead and wait for the next 80 years. Do you? Or you can realize that you're more powerful than you believe. You can realize you are the master of the now moment. And you can realize that the power of you manifesting and directing and navigating the reality that is yours lies in your ability to discern what is for you and what is not for you. What do you prefer? What makes your heart beat? Where is the joy? Then look at what that is. What's the answer? Is that thing that's bringing you joy, makes your heart beat, is it actually something that is organic and comes from a higher perspective? Or is it your entrainment from lower level frequencies and ideologies that says live in the fast lane, buy the hot rod car, it makes your heart pump faster, everyone's going to love you, this and that. It may bring you a pseudo joy, but part of your homework for discernment is to discern on this planet while you're here. This is just a homework, right? Discern what of the things that you attract, the people, places, things, situations, ideas, the forms, what of those forms that you attract into your daily life, and look around you, look around you, right? What of those reflect love, aka reality, from an energetic standpoint, reflect constructs in the non-physical field that go all the way up to source. And what of those things around you and people around you and thoughts and beliefs and stuff reflect false concepts. They may be manifest here because yeah, we're in a place where what we think manifests into the plane, but not everything you see has has a structure in all of the levels and all the dimensions. It doesn't go all the way up. It terminates, maybe let's say in the lower astral realms or something like that, because it's not of love. You made that up. It's like building and making stuff. We're on this planet, we're all building stuff from what our thoughts and beliefs. But if you're building stuff based on fear and stuff and whatnot, that's easily blown away. That's not, you know, it's nothing. And so a lot of people are finding that out in life. This is why we're here. But why waste time around things that are valueless, right? So at this time, as we at Libra and as we enter 2025 and here in January, we're being asked to exercise greater discernment. And once you've come to a decision about what you prefer to follow, start taking action steps in your reality, in your physical reality to align with that. And don't get trapped in it. If it's not something that continues to bring you joy, then you let it go. Speaking of don't get trapped in it, it's not about I'm going to make a vision board about this one thing and I'm going to keep affirming all this and that. And all you're going to be doing is spinning your wheels. And if you put enough pressure and momentum to bring something in, it doesn't mean it's of a high quality. The more that you keep running with low self-esteem, low self-worth, poverty consciousness, martyrdom consciousness, all of that stuff, that's what you're spinning into the mix. Now you're making something in your life because you will make something. You're here in a maker's village, it's called it, right? You're making stuff that is not for your highest, and it's as tantamount as a toxic apple. Some of us marry our toxic apples. They become our spouses. But your friendly local reader and anyone else who can read into your energy field and even your higher self who could just let you know real quick if you get connected with it, they'll be like, oh, you actually manifested this person because you were in a low state of being, you were feeling horrible about yourself, you this, that, da, 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 and you didn't realize it at the conscious mind level. And this is where we need to give you more support and training in discernment. The D that the D we need. It's not the D we want, it's the D we need, guys. You know that. And that's where your team comes in and they assist you in showing you how that person, the form, person, place, thing, situation, idea, the manifested physicality, the appearance in this physical world, even as your psychological disturbances and stuff, just reflecting a toxic aspect within you that stems from low self-worth. We're all on this journey. So as you know, the path we actually need to be focusing on is the path towards joy. Joy is our compass. I think there's a book called that, Joy is My Compass. I haven't read that, but I hear it's an amazing book. And just based off of the title, we get it. Because joy is a high frequency state of being. It is a path. It is a frequency. If you tune yourself, like on the radio, you tune yourself to your joy and you weed out the toxic aspects of that joyful activity or whatever it is that you're doing, you can trust that that path is going all the way up in dimension because joy and bliss and enlightenment, these are high frequency energies that are at every level, right? Like, if you're here, get on it and see yourself rise. All right. But anyway, surrender to frustration. Frustration at this point for some of you guys, because I know that I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys know this. And if you don't, then you can take it back, listen and take it back, feel into it for yourself, right? I'm just sharing what comes to me and what I've noticed myself to be on. But the frustration, at least for me, is my attachment that I still have. Oh, look at that. My attachment that I still have to certain things that I find familiar and comforting and that and that. But if I'm being for reals with myself is not the most healthy thing for me. It's not actually something that I feel inclined to do when I'm actually in, happy, joyful states. When you're really in a happy and joyful state, you're acting in a way that you wouldn't. That if you were in Eeyore mopey like mode, right? You're not worried about, oh, I'm poor, I'm this and that. No, hey everybody, I just had a baby. The fathers, I just had a baby. Everybody in this whole wing is getting a free drink on me or cigars for everybody or there. Or if you see that, or oh, this is a great example. If you're doing your thing at the beach or at the park, taking in the day, and then you see this big family just enjoying themselves, like having a family reunion or whatever, and they look over to you like they're like, "Hey, come over here." They see you by yourself. They're like, "Come over here," and you get a plate. Like this is the Wilkinson's family reunion, and everybody's happy. One guy brings you a drink, the other brings you a full. I'm talking a full plate. Okay, we're not out here feeding the birds, right? They come with a plate like they know you. Yeah, we've got ribs, we've got asada, we've got everything. And you're like, what? In your mind, you're like, because why? They're happy. They're abundant. In that moment, they're abundant. In when you're in that natural state, you are naturally recognizing your abundance. You're not thinking about lack. You're not thinking, oh, well, who's that stranger over there? Who they're going to take our food and, oh, I should save a little bit back for this person. No, hey, you come over here. We have enough. We're here. We're just, come out, have a seat, enjoy. And we all love to be invited to those kinds of spaces because you're accepted as you are. No one's asking you to check yourself at the door. You're just welcome. They don't even know you. And they're so happy within themselves. They're not projecting their insecurities onto you to be like, oh, that guy looks like, that guy, he's a creeper. He's not allowed at the cookout. He's not, and if you are in a space where people are having those kinds of like, you know, you don't need to be there, right? You don't need a plate from that because you don't break bread with people who are not, you'll know. You might feel sick after eating that food, right? And so the point I'm trying to say is your steps now your step now is to continue to allow yourself, your own energy. Don't be afraid. And if you're afraid, reach out to me. You know me, guys. I'm seeing through the veils. This is the gift here. This is the gift. And I will let you know what that is. And chances are it's going to be like, oh, it's actually just you. Let's do a little tweak in your energy field and let's just pull it in a little bit. You might feel a little bit upset stomach and you're like, oh my God, my stomach's been upset for the last few days. Yeah, I know. It's just because right here it's in and don't worry. I do see some programming here. So you might be experiencing this as like somebody trying to come in and steal from you. Oh my God, I've been so paranoid. The last few days I've been clutching my purse. Yeah, okay, we see that you're going to feel that way because the energy is moving in. But here's the thing, that's your own higher frequency. Your own energy is downloading into you. You're having your initiations, you're having your downloads. But because of the programming that you're carrying, the fears that you're carrying, you're seeing something that's not there. But I want you to stay on the path. I want you to stay focused so that you can continue to let more of this energy in and don't let yourself scare yourself out of receiving that which is already you. All right. So we're here to help expand the mindset. And when you surrender the joys, you surrender the fears and the addictions and the low self-worth and the this and that and programming, what you're leaving space for is your own self. All right. And if something falls out of alignment with that self, you gotta let it go. Boom. Let it go. Because all you're getting is the resistance. Or I noticed that since I had this treatment or this energy, whatever people call it, uh, like my ex keeps coming at me, like my boss is shouting at me. Yeah, because these energies, they're just the forms, they're manifesting and reflecting back to you what's going on inside of you. The shadow part is trying to pull you of yourself is trying to pull you back. In other words, the part of you that's still in fear is trying to convince you that you're under attack. You are not under attack by anything but yourself. Whatever that shows up in your life as the threat of taxes, the threat of someone doing black magic against you, the threat of being thrown out of your local holy institution, the threat of your parents disowning you, the threat of your husband, wife walking away, the threat of you getting sick, the threat, it's just a threat that's manifesting outside of you to reflect what's going on inside of you. Some of you may experience that tension in terms of aches and pains. Some of you feel it like I gotta get up and dance because energy wants to wiggle its way through you, and you're here to move with it, whatever you want to do. So observe yourself, observe what's coming in, keep your will at this level of being, your at the level of your choice making. The only thing you can do is choose. Keep your will aligned with the choice to continue with yourself. Okay. And stay the path. And again, if you feel like you're wanting to fall off or something, come see me. Holla at your girl, okay? Because we will let you know. As I said that, I see this card right here. Holla at your girl. Because we will let you know. And I will definitely let you know if I see something. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. Keep your eyes on the other videos and energies that will be coming up, but mostly hug yourself. Just go ahead and hug yourself and love yourself. You are absolutely loved, lovable, and loving, and that's all there is to it. Anyone telling you otherwise, you know what they can get. These cards to review. All right. Happy New Year.